What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Emerald Echo podcast, here with a look at the Green Lantern Max Charge figure of Hal Jordan. So this is figure number 2 in the 4-inch line. I've also seen it listed as the 3 3/4 inch line. I've seen it listed both ways, but regardless, I got a lot of these on clearance towards the end of the Green Lantern's movie merchandise run in stores. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the package details now. Here is the front bottom of the packaging. It designates this as figure number 2, Max Charge Hal Jordan. Here is the wearable ring, and there is Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. One of the things I like about this packaging is if you look close here, you can actually see the Green Lantern oath printed on this outer circle of the Green Lantern symbol. That is the back of the packaging. On the top of the packaging, of course, it says Green Lantern, and we get this shot of space in the background. On the back, we get the shot of Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan charging his ring in his personal power battery. We get some specifics here. Hal Jordan, Homeworld Earth, Sector 2814. And here are some of the other figures available in this line. There is Sinestro, Green Man, and Kilowog. And of course, this says includes crossbow construct, and that is the accessory that we get with this figure. Here's the brief bio of Hal Jordan. It says, after being selected as Abinsur's successor, Hal Jordan struggles with whether he is fearless enough to thrive in the Green Lantern Corps. But old friend Carol Ferris helps Hal realize that the ring didn't choose him because he is fearless. It chose him because he is courageous enough to overcome his fears. Here is the figure framed within the bubble, and I do like this design. It's very unique, utilizing the Green Lantern symbol. Of course, there is the construct crossbow. You can see the ring from different angles. And as I said before, I got a lot of these on clearance, and this is actually the one that I'm going to bust out. As you can see, I got this for $1.50 back in the day. They were just ready to unload these. So now I think it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. Here is the figure free of the outer packaging, but still in the inner plastic. And here we see Hal Jordan out of the package and ready to rumble. Even though these aren't collector-centric figures, there are some Green Lantern collectors like myself who think that there are attractive aspects about these figures and they're still fun pieces to have in your collection. And even 11 years after the movie's release, you can find these for not very much. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the loose details now. So let's talk about accessories now, and here is the wearable Green Lantern ring. And I've talked about these in other reviews, how much I like these. Even if you're a big man like myself, and you can't get these on, and I don't think there's any amount of heating of the plastic that I could do to actually like get this on and wear it for any substantial period of time. That doesn't matter because I still like it as a collectible piece. It's cool to take this and set it in front of a figure or some other collectible, and it just looks really cool since so much of the mythos centers around rings. So I do like this. And here is the crossbow construct, and I really appreciate how this looks. I really like this detail, how it looks like the energy is kind of wrapping around this part of it as it forms into a solid piece. And so that little detail, it's things like that. That's why I think these figures are still worth the time for Green Lantern collectors. Because, I mean, that's really cool. That really tells the story of how the ring works, because it is thought becoming reality, becoming a hard light construct. So I like that a lot. So by the way, this is fairly pliable too. This is not something where if you drop it, it's going to instantly break. And that's also something that I appreciate with toys is durability. If you're wondering how difficult is it to get the construct on the figure, it's really not difficult at all. As I said, this plastic is pliable, so you can get the fist in the construct very easily. And I really do like the way that looks. Now, the issue is that this accessory is almost as heavy as the figure, so if you put it on the figure, it will not stand. Whether you have it out front or to the side like this, it will not stay standing. The only way that I've seen to put it on the figure and have the figure be balanced is like I had it earlier on in the video. Let's have a look at the lower body now, and I really like this translucent plastic that they've used. You can see just how the light dances off of it, and you can see through it. You can see all the details of the musculature as you turn this, and that's just, that's really attractive to me as a collector, especially for just a few dollars. I want to say these were either $3.99 a piece or $4.99 a piece at retail before they were clearanced, and to me that is totally worth it. I mean, you can see the musculature here. There's good definition on the quadriceps, as well as back here with the calf muscles. Even get a little definition with the hamstrings back here. But I like this texturing that's consistent with the movie costume, which I know it's kind of controversial with Green Lantern fans. Not everybody liked it. But I just still think that this is an attractive piece to add to your collection. And yeah, again, as you move it around light, you can just see the light dancing through it like he is just completely encased in energy, and I really like that. Now, there's only 6 points of articulation on these figures, and for the lower body, there's pretty much just this. You can get him to kick forward, and that's it. The leg doesn't go out at all, and if there's a criticism I have here, I feel like it should be able to step back a little bit more, but he doesn't. You can just barely get the leg to go back at an angle like this, so that's all right, but I would have liked for it to go back a little bit more, because that may have helped with holding the construct on the figure, because that does unbalance the figure, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But other than having knee joints, there's not a lot that I can criticize about the lower body here. Let's look at the torso now, and I think there's a lot to appreciate here. I like how you can see this line work flowing toward the Green Lantern symbol. Like, that's the center point, and everything kind of flows toward that. And at the same time, even though they have all this exquisite line work, they didn't completely sacrifice the musculature. Like, I can feel the edges here of the pectorals and the edges of the abdominals. And back here, again, that exquisite line work continues, but there's a differentiation in the lats and the trapezius up here. So I appreciate that. I like the Green Lantern symbol for what it is. I didn't expect a raised logo, one that looked really outstanding on a figure that is this scale for only a few dollars, but I think it looks fine. And there's also this lower abdominal articulation, which I appreciate. It does help the figure balance a little bit. Now, I would have preferred elbow joints or knee joints, but I do appreciate them giving this to us. Let's have a look at the arms now, and I think there's a lot to like here in terms of molding and sculpting. So you can see the biceps and triceps they're molded very well. And again, those lines are sculpted in. And I like how you can see this here around the triceps. They aren't just flat lines, like there's little ridges that have been sculpted in. You can see that. And that goes a long way in conveying this idea of an energy costume, that it's flowing energy. Deltoids look good. And you can even see the lines here on the inner part of the triceps. That looks good. Now, if you're wondering if you can see the ring, let me see if I can get it in just the right angle. The ring actually has been sculpted here. There we go. Again, it's very small because this is a very small figure, but you can see the ring like this, and I do like this fist. I think it's been sculpted very well. And with the articulation that's present, you do have this ball joint, and so you can get him into this kind of pose. And if I can have a Green Lantern figure that can wield its ring, then I'm happy with that, especially for just a few dollars. Even with the other areas of the figure that aren't perfect, like, not having knees, if I can do this and just have a figure on my shelf like this, then I think it's worth the purchase price. As far as the other arm, pretty much the same. This is a gripping hand. I wish there was articulation at the wrist. There isn't. Because, if you could turn it upward, then you could like put one of the little power batteries in his hand, which he doesn't come with that accessory, but they do have them. You could get an extra and put it in his hand if his hand was angled upward, but it's not. So you can get the arms to go out this far. So I appreciate that as well. So while there are things that could have been done better, I do appreciate the fact that we can get the figure into this type of pose, and we have options there. So good job by Mattel on the arms. Also, this arm, the shoulder joint goes up really far. I really appreciate that amount of articulation. I really love how that looks. Now, this arm doesn't go up quite as far, but you can still get it to go around 360 degrees. And of course, this one, you can also get it to go around 360 degrees. If you are a Ryan Reynolds fan, or you're someone who prizes screen-to-figure accuracy, and you're wondering, does this figure look like Ryan Reynolds? The answer is yes. I can certainly see the resemblance here. Honestly, this is done very well by Mattel. I think the face shape is correct. You can see the edges of the mask here. The ears are done really well. They even have the correct hairstyle here. So I can most certainly look at this and see Ryan Reynolds. And that's really excellent work for a head sculpt that's translucent plastic, where they don't have the advantage of details. In this small of a scale, the fact that they can replicate the resemblance, that's really impressive work. Now, in terms of articulation, it's pretty much just side to side. That's all that there is. You can't get it to go up and down. You can't get it to tilt. But again, I am thoroughly impressed with the overall aesthetics of this head sculpt. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like, subscribe, and tell a friend to do the same. Stay tuned at the end of the video for some articulation shots, and also remember to catch me on the Multiverse Musings vidcast, available right here on YouTube. And I'll be back to the internet with more Green Lantern-related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.